going down on the A site. And I'm fingers crossed that that's exactly what we get. And we are going to get it right now. Ladies and gents, it's Vertigo, map 2 of G2 versus Endpoint.
A chance here for G2 to break both of their loss streaks. They were 0-3 on Inferno coming into this. In their last matches, they won that. Now they get Vertigo. They're also 0-3. And we'll see if they can finally put to bed their loss streak and do it on Endpoint's clock.
To the top of mid, the pistol players go. G2 on the offense to start, obviously. And, well, they've got a couple bodies ready for them here in mid. Crucial actually falls off. And the Molotov misses the mark? Unless that's meant to know. Okay, extinguish the smoke so that they can wrap into the B site. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and just crank the tempo. Flames, he goes sprinting through the smoke, and everybody for G2 has suddenly met their demise. Flames with a headshot versus Kenny, and Hunter now having to have a hell of a clutch.
Ooh.
He's got himself the kill versus Flames, and he knows where Crucial's at, but Crucial shuts him down. Wow, Endpoint not shying away from the utility usage and just running into G2 as fast as they ran into that B site.
Definitely. You know, that's one of those rounds where if you give them the space, it works out so much better. And here we see from Flames coming through the smoke right away, just understanding that this is going to be a B hit and I need to be in position as soon as possible, as opposed to like, let's hope they maybe go A and stand behind the smoke and maybe I can help out later. And that's what's really key about Flames, I think. You know, the worst part is about Flames? I heard he's a great guy. It's like, not only is like the extremely confident, young fragger, star player, I heard he like gives you advice in pugs if you're a new player. Like that's what somebody said in the comments. I did a demo review on him just to top it off.
He's a sociopath is what you're telling me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mighty Max and Robin, MP9s side by side. 2 kills apiece. That's going to be good for the economy. It's going to be good for Endpoint. Looking to kick off this defensive half with a convincing second round. And they'll get that. 4 guys survive, only losing one of the 2 SMGs. And, well, that poises them quite well to move into this first gun round. G2, it's time to buy.
And we're not quite at that mark yet, but this is one of the maps where, you know, opping happens on both sides very frequently. And it's also, we like to do at these events, we like to do, you know, head-to-heads and compare oppers, but it's very seldom you actually see the oppers take pure duels and are able to determine who is the better opper. Usually they're trying to pick off riflers ideally, but on Vertigo, it is a map where we do see the head-to-head duel happen quite often down the A ramp. So something we'll look forward to in the next couple of rounds. But for now, G2 buy down to 0, can afford their full nade sets, but only have AKs to go with them.
You know, I remember very vividly the second pistol round of Inferno, Mohan, where like patience was the name of the game. You know, we had G2 positioned in library and just wait. And sure enough, Endpoint, they bit down on the bait. They didn't wait long enough and they died for it. Vertigo is a game of patience at times because you can hear everything from anywhere. And every once in a while, you go looking for information. You bite off more than you can chew. Crucial chomps down on Jax here towards ramp to get the 5v4. A flashbang over the top here meant to support Crucial so that he can continue to check. But like I say, this is patience and could be running thin. He decides to fall back at the 40-second mark. All of G2 are here, but they're stomping around. They're stampeding. And those footsteps meant to fake a rotate could leave Endpoint scratching their heads. No boost.
Doing a good job with the rotations and utility.
Yeah, it's all well timed, and Robin even kind of getting a little frisky, getting a little risky here on short shelf. Mighty Max jumping into Hunter's head. It's Kenny S with the only counter kill. Mighty Max the first to fall, and Kenny's gonna just drop after the first. 8 seconds left over for Aminex. Sure, he's on the bomb site with all of Endpoint, and he's able to barrel stuff Flames. But Endpoint maintain, and they have that third round on the board.
That was a very impressive round by Endpoint. You know, like it seemed like at every single time G2 were thinking about pushing wrapping short or pushing up the A ramp, there was someone peeking or throwing a Molotov down, and the rotations just came in, and they were very liberal with their rotations, which I liked a lot. You know, again, it's a situation where you got to trust your reads a little bit. Even the best of the best will call an extra man over if they think that they need it, just because. And Endpoint seemed to be happy to do that on a moment's notice. Everyone trusting each other. and we're seeing a very, very scary, round there just because of that alone. So we'll see. Now we've got a T timeout called for G2. They could talk about what just happened, but I think it's clear at this point they're going to have to work very hard just to win these rounds on A. And it's the name of the game. You just have to win the rounds on A. They're supposed to lean towards the T side, and that's why everyone goes there. In normal game, even if a CT overstacked A every single round, the other team would probably only win 3 or 4 rounds going B in total. No one really goes there more than that.
Well, smoke's up in the faces of the defenders. Mighty Max is on the other side of this, and they have left Hunter. He would have heard the footstep from the fire, I believe, so he goes for the peek, but Mighty Max shuts it down, and G2 just going to look to relaunch their assault into the B site, maybe grab that bomb plant, maybe just best Surreal. But he's doing a good job of isolating the 1v1s despite their best efforts. Good bank grenade. Kenny S catches a headshot into Crucial. There's Surreal, ever present here on this B site, standing way longer than he could have justified. Had he died in the initial push, I think anyone would have understood. But he holds his ground, he locks it down, and Endpoint find their 4th.
Yeah, part of the reason why everyone goes A, of course, is just because the retakes are so much easier on B. This is a map of ephemeral cover, where a lot of the time you're relying on a Molotov to lock down a position so you can peek something else, a smoke, a refresh smoke. You're baiting utility from the T side constantly. It's where you just need to make the rounds as long as possible and be the last guy left with that additional smoke or one more Molotov to really win you the game. And because things are so wide open, that's why I say it's a map of ephemeral cover. They just rely on these smokes, but they only last 15 seconds.
Ooh, dangerous game, Robin. Sticking your head down that hole. Doesn't get punished for it. Where's Kenny S at? Base of ramp, I presume. Molly's pushing back Robin. Yeah, Kenny trying to give that cover. They're going to burn out full shelf. They're going to burn out back boxes. And there's the opening pick. Hunter with the headshot. Finds short shelf now compromised. This puts the other 2 CTs in a bit of a pickle. But they do jump back into cover.
Oh.
Hunter, kills Mighty Max immediately as he tries to peek. And this is looking real good for G2. So good, in fact, that Crucial continues to concede control of this bomb site. Step by step, he falters back. And Amanek, behind enemy lines, wants to catch Flames. Flames peeks and dies. Now they've got the counter-terrorists completely boxed in. This is G2's round to lose.
Surreal almost goes skydiving without a parachute there. Off the edge. And everybody ends up getting picked apart. And this is when it gets, of course, very scary. A brave rotation from G2 back to the B site. And Amanek, I think this is the map where I think a lot of focus is on him on the T side, as opposed to just Kenny S and his op, who can kind of work solo alone. Amanek will be both the lurk and the entry on this map throughout an entire T side on Vertigo, where he'll do a play like that, where he'll come out mid, go towards B, and then open up the site. And then other rounds he'll be putting pressure on the B site, but then coming back to A and then throwing every single nade and entrying all in the same round. So, he's the get you a man who could do it all for them on this T side, and he's going to be the part I think that's going to be the most problematic for Endpoint to have to deal with. Everybody wants to stack up towards A, but you can't let people lurk out like that.
Nice kill from Hunter, just playing around the side of the smokes. Endpoint, it's this constant game of cat and mouse on the A site. How much do you concede? The more you give up, the more likely the execute is full-blown and fully committed. Mighty Max, he's going to eat a bit of a flash, and the terrorist wastes no time. Jax just swinging out so wide. Kenny S giving cover, catches Flames, but Robin still remains, and Hunter's about to split him wide open. Loses half of his health in the engagement. But again, there's so many players here from G2 that each of them take individual duels, and they all come out on top. Surreal, chasing ghosts at this point, has no clue where everybody's got off to. Hunter gonna deal more damage before he dies, but I mean, the bomb's on B, Mohan. This is a round for G2.
Yeah, they got a player
Or
sandbags.
is
This
it?
is like the pre-fire map from hell, basically. They've got someone everywhere, and the bomb's planted on the other side of the map. So that's a good scary round from G2, where we really see their power. They create this spider web of opportunity at different points, and yeah, they send you through this death maze of CT rotations where the T's could be anywhere. So now they're starting to move in. They're moving the furniture into Endpoint's head. Okay, they're not there exactly rent-free just yet, but I think they're starting to cause some doubt, cause some distrust, and maybe we'll see Endpoint start to fall apart. But I don't know, because again, that one round they had, that CTA round was so strong. I think it feels like Endpoint's game plan's very strong. I tweeted at Flames. I said, Flames, you better be in aimbots right now. An hour and a half before the match. He said, "Oh, I'm doing more than aimbots." So I guess
What was he
he's.
implying?
I have no idea. Could be stretching. Could be reading a book. Watching a demo.
Hey, Emanek. I love it. Continues the spray down. Invites Mighty Max to go for his peek. He pokes his head in the door frame and gets it shut on his fingertips. Kenny S giving cover, everybody moving in. I mean, just versus the pistols here. I love that G2 are giving the respect to their enemies. Going through all the motions, the Ocean Hunter giving cover, but Kenny gets the kill. Maybe a flawless round on the cards here, Launders.
Mm-hmm. Would be quite nice. High numbers in these last 3 rounds. Majority alive for these last 2 versus full guns, and now maybe a 5 alive. Was 5 alive a drink?
Yes, Five Alive was a tropical fruit beverage,
Yeah.
at least here in Canada, once upon a time.
Yeah, once upon a time, right?
It's one of those
Feels like
things.
it's
It's like
been
Hawaiian
gone longer
Punch.
than cobblestone.
Remember Hawaiian Punch?
Hawaiian punch? Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know. Hawaiian pizza?
Why
are you
say
asking me?
Hawaiian punch like that? I'm gonna twide some Hawaiian punch.
The things.
Yes,
of the
I do.
past.
I remember it. Yep.
Can't find that anymore. It's probably food laws. Who knows?
Yeah. It's
I
out
don't
there
have
with
the
Pepsi Blue.
answers. Only have the questions. At Endpoint, well, they've got guns. Back in with a buy. Plenty of utility, and they use it liberally early on. Chucking frags down to the base of B. Surreal going to post up on the catwalk. He's going to do a little dance on the catwalk.
Nexus Mercenary. Looking for information. I don't know if this is a round where they try to NB or if they just follow frags, but I think it's one where they attempt the fillet with him lurking around, and Hunter goes down first. Bit too far to trade. Small risk being taken, and they get punished for it. This is where things seem to get a bit stringy here for G2. Not great in the low numbers so far this series.
He's looking for kills, but nobody's facing him here on this B site. Now that Amanek opens up shop on mid, there's a chance that the B players start moving and could find themselves in the crosshair of Nexa. But as he repositions, so does Surreal. Oh, it's a weird one. You can see players through that grate, but when they're so far back, the layers of mesh become an impenetrable wall of defense. And Kenny S, well, he's going to put fire at the feet of Surreal, or at least that's where it's meant to be. Didn't quite have enough gas on it. He holds his position alongside Flames. Flames with the better of the angle. Could get predicted. Kenny, he's trying to hone in on it. There's the second player. Catches him by surprise. Surreal doing a great job of locking down the defense alongside Flames. Aminex, all that remains. He doesn't have the bomb, and there's a player behind him. Mighty Max pops up from the box. He's now been spotted. 8 seconds left. I mean, let's be real. This is Endpoint's round. 5 on the board to the 3 of G2.
Are we going to Dust 2? Is that what's happening right now? That's what I don't. It's so hard to see. I mean, look, Endpoint playing well here. They played well on the first map. I hope they get something. This is kind of impressive. It's, you know, a lot of teams would falter to that much pressure. The kind of T rounds that G2 are putting up right now. Some of their wins are very confusing. And we saw Amanek, you know, doing a great job of lurking. He brought it back from the 3v5 to get a kill on, as a lurker in mid. It's not an easy task to do, especially when CTs are all in their most comfortable starting positions. So it's still scary, of course, but it's pretty impressive that Endpoint are pulling out all these CT rounds. So what is the game plan here for Nexa? I don't really know. Some of their defaults towards A are just falling apart. Not even going 4-4 or 3-3, like 5-3.
And the B openings, I feel, are really hard to get going because Surreal, he's pretty nicely positioned back on the base of it. And Flames is doing a really good job of rotating between like B short and mid.
Look at Dominic go.
He's just running. Oh, Hunter, oh my goodness, barely alive at this point. Jax down for the count. Amanek, though, he did open up shop. That first frag. Now, where the heck did he get off to? He's back behind enemy lines. I don't know. Robin's watching short, but Amanek has been killed. Okay, Crucial got him. Wherever he was, Crucial dealt with it. Nexa's now hoping that disruption caused by Amanek was enough to alleviate the defense from the B site, and they would be right. Surreal, normally posted more forward than this, has to take a reserve position, and he loses his head. Nexa gets it. Bomb plant now comes of it. Amanek is the reason all of this situation was created. As he got through mid, all of these players were towards that A site, but they slipped back just in time to find themselves this plan. Now, Kenny S, he's trying to give that cover. Nexa just has to trust him, but Nexa turns his attention, still able to snap it back. He gets himself all three. Headshots off the AK, a 4K for Nexa, and a 4th round for G2.
Truly disgusting by Nexa, man. That was really sick stuff from that generator. We talk about how B retakes are so easy these days, and you know, one of those common spots is where Nexa's at, and he's just got to go so hard to be able to get all 3 kills. Versus the trade rifler, and that's what Crucial. Even grabbing Kenny S was an amazing peek into the back of the site. But as initially talked about, you know, within like 10 seconds, Amanek arcs his way through mid into their spawn, kills a player in the middle, and kind of does what they do on Inferno, where they cause a lot of confusion on the team, where they took Arch and then they split the rotations. There's no way to get through spawn to the other side of the map. That's where G2 seemed to really bully them.
Ooh. Smack 10. Can mince meat with the defense on the A site. Whoa! Almost hits him with the 180 slap back. But he comes to an end there. Made some good money, Hunter. Now it's Flames with the picked up Mac 10. Can he get another? No, sir.
Wow.
Obviously, Endpoint ill-equipped for the round. Have to concede their lead. We are tied at 5 rounds apiece.
That's insane money. You have 4 or 5 kills there. We're Mac 10 kills. We've got 2 players above 10K for G2 in a 5-5 scoreline. Like, how often do you see that? So it's been a nice set of rounds for the comeback here for G2. Still a close situation at Endpoint. Are almost at their quota for the CT side. Like, they're still doing pretty good. So we've got a tiny ping issue. I don't know if it's tiny, but it might be. So it's a little bit of a ping issue here for Endpoint. So one of the features, it's not a bug, it's a feature of online gameplay, okay? Ping issues. It's intended. It's just the way things go. But yeah, I feel like we talk about the potential for Nico to G2, because I did a video on Amanek, specifically on T-side Vertigo, and I had no idea what to expect because I don't watch a lot of G2. Okay. Then I started watching more because Amanek's T-side is so unique and it creates so much value every round, whether he gets a kill or not. So like there, he goes 1 for 1 in the spawn, but he gets the info on B. Nexa calls a rotation, they win the round. Another round, he's controlling rotations, getting into the B side, they win the round the same way. On the rounds he goes A, he's throwing all their A nades as well before they commit. He's not just a lurker on any single round. He always full commits to either his mid lurk or his A hits, and just creates immense value for G2. And I'd like to say, you know, if it is Nico to go to G2, is Nico going to do that? I don't know. Like, they're different players, but I feel like Amanek's kind of carved out a very kind of special place in the team. And it'll take more looking at the other maps to see if he has similar value. But I think he's a really special player for their Vertigo, at least.
Yep. And I think it, you know, without having done a map by map analysis, man, I think it is safe to say that Amanek's kind of unique role in G2 and what he does well. And, you know, one of the reasons that I think they kind of rose to stardom, right, was low key Amanek and Jax.
Definitely.
It does translate to many a different map. So I'm with you there. I'm curious to see what will happen with the future of this roster. But obviously, being tied with Endpoint here on Vertigo, and having a first close map. It's not the G2 we've come to know throughout 2020. Kenny S posted with his sniper here down at the base of A. Hunter doesn't have a gun out. That could be a problem. Yep. Swaps out to the weapon, does get the trade frag in time, but Mighty Max getting the better of the side of the smoke. We call that one an accident and move along.
Kind of a rare situation where it's just a quiet 4v4. There's not somebody out in their spawn wrapping in through B. It's just kind of a reset strategically, and we're finally having one of the more prototypical rounds on the A ramp where they're slowly trying to creep up.
He has crept up as close as he can. He's gonna have to pull the trigger, and Hunter will absolutely do it. Robin has a bit of cover, but he's losing his teammates all around him. Good job to deal damage back the other way. The gun goes dry. Surreal comes running over, but there is still that omnipresent flank from Amanek. And he could find timing here, but it's going to be stressed. He kind of wants to run, but he buys time, plays it patient, and it could pay off. A 1 versus 1 between Amanek and Surreal. And Surreal has the cover of the bomb site. He's going to jump onto the box. Amanek peeks, and he dies for it. Surreal picking up the clutch, coming from the B site all the way over to A, and he gets ahead of Amanek, doesn't get cut off by the flank, and then wins that fight in a crucial heads-up duel. Endpoint back in the lead, but only by 1.
Yeah, nicely done. Kind of a critical situation for them because they lost, last 2 rounds. They won 1 on a clutch, shades of Mighty Max in the 1v1 where here's a spot where they're back on Famas's. They have no money left over except for Flames. It's pretty much bottom dollar across of all of them. G2 win this. This could be the end of the half pretty much for Endpoint. There's a lot of emphasis on this round for Endpoint, and they don't have great guns to work with.
Is that a thing, Kenny S? Is that a wallbang, buddy? Are you trying to teach us tricks of the trade?
Sometimes I don't know if he lines everything up or if he just tries them. But,
sometimes I don't know if it's on purpose or he just accidentally
I think
clicks.
he changes the constitution of the map with some of these wall bangs.
Must be a thing because there's too many bullet holes there not to be. Mighty Max, well-timed peek. I mean, there are 3 other T's down at the base of ramp, and Mighty Max peeks into Hunter without getting killed. That's big. Crucial then even does the exact same thing, and he takes the damage that Mighty Max should have. Endpoint, not shying away from G2's ramp control at all. I mean, we came into this map, you alluded to it, right? We thought maybe it'd be the sniper fight, but it is just a clash of both teams here towards this A ramp. A and A again, and it's Endpoint coming out on top. I feel like they have their biggest issues when they're forced to retreat into the site itself or back beyond it. But if they have any kind of ramp control, if they're contesting short shelf or they have footing on ramp, man, they just don't fall. They hold strong, and still they continue on. Mighty Max, he gets tagged by the frag, sure, but Jax, he's gonna come up empty-handed. Kenny S, the 1 kill so far here for G2 in the 12th round. It is Endpoint to take it.
We all saw how critical it was for Endpoint to win that following round after the 1v1. They do it cleanly, and as you talked about, they look ironclad in the 5v5. But when G2 come up with a tricky way to get that opening frag, then that's where things can really fall apart and G2 can get their claws in. But they didn't find that opening. Might have been a good round to try for one of those Amanek lurks or a Nexa working deep solo type of round. But on the A ramp, we've seen a lot of Endpoint be successful in these delayed 5v5 situations. Dink off on Hunter. And the really ugly and messy part about the A ramp, of course, is that so many of the kills are expected to come via smoke spams, via wall bangs. And it's hard to like account for that, but that is a huge part of this map that you have to get kills via wall bangs and spams through smokes and A ramp to be able to win a half. But it doesn't seem like for G2 that's just not the game they really want to be playing versus Endpoint in this half. Endpoint have been pretty good about getting the better of them.
It's the sloppy nature of the A site.
Yeah, it's very sloppy. It's weird because I feel like Vertigo is definitely a fun map now, but it does feel competitively questionable sometimes.
Sure. It's like if you don't know what you're doing, it's almost better than if you do know what you're
Kind
doing.
of.
But it leads to some unorthodox moments, and that means excitement. And so I'm still on board. Here we have it. The crunch into the B site. They find Flames. Aminex got him killed. But Surreal, he's gone over towards the B ramp and almost transitions the spray there into Kenny. We've got Kenny S, the legendary Opper, wielding an AK in a 1v2. Was the 1v3, but he trade fragged first and foremost. What's his position? Worried about the flank. Both of Endpoint's remaining players on full HP coming in from Big Green. Kenny S just gets drive-by splattered and sent sailing down to the depths of his death. It is an 8th round for Endpoint, a CT side that just keeps giving, whether it's an A hold or a B retake. These guys now sit on a comfortable 3-round lead.
Yeah, very comfortable. Great retake. Nice shot by Crucial. Off Kenny S's dome. Kind of a similar shot we saw earlier in the game as well. And the hold goes pretty well. It was a man disadvantage situation by the time that they tried to entry into B, so no surprise there. But good refragging by Endpoint to close things out. So now just Tech 9s and the second to last round in a fantastic flame spam by Flames through the smoke as they all make noise crossing mid.
Later in neck, but at least he serves as a good distraction. Unfortunately for G2, Flames is already in position. Flames is doing it dirty. 3 kills here in the 14th. Hunter comes up from the ramp, catches the Opper, but Flames omnipresent. I feel like Flames has kind of gone under the radar because he is playing this mid-rotate position, and unless they're splitting B, they don't really make hard contact versus him. But the one time that it's not just Aminex on a mid play, check him out. 4 kills to his name, and Endpoint now leading 9 rounds to 5.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like if on paper, it's kind of like it seems like he'd be a good A player because like a good A anchor, because of just the way that he plays. He's good by himself. He's good like with these spams, with these smoke kills and stuff like that. So he could be there. But at the same time, you see that argument for him as a mid rotator where he has a lot more freedom. He can come in for the clutch on A. He can try to take advantage of lurks. We saw in the pistol round, his proactivity coming through the smoke, not being afraid to take those risks was a big reason that Endpoint started off this half so strong. So yeah, kind of one size fits all, I'd say. Definitely a strong map for him. He's had some bad maps, some pretty good maps in recent memory on Vertigo stats wise. You can kind of see why so far he's had some good ones. Seems like a strong day for him.
G2 just kind of getting boxed out of this T side, really, man. I mean, A site has been shut round after round. They've occasionally found footing on the B site, but they've had to do a really difficult job of getting Surreal off of his anchored positions. Crucial gets the first pick versus Jax, re-peeks into Kenny S, and down he goes. Now it's Flames' turn at bat, and sure enough, he finds the headshot on top of it being the bomb carrier. Surreal then comes out from construction, and because Kenny was drawn towards the elevator room, he almost got blindsided by it. He had to leave before he was ever able to get that bomb back. So now Endpoint, they've got a man advantage and control of C4.
Surreal kind of fighting with his rifles a little bit to get these kills. But he's done some damage to Kenny S. Nexa joins him in that low HP club. And the bomb way out of position. Hunter will have to do it all, but on his solo mission out through A. Mighty Max is there to catch the flank. 3v2. And again, they have eyes on the bomb. Place your bets.
Nice one. Surreal over the tippity top of the smoke, and wow. Flames up close. Closes 10 rounds to 5. Endpoint are making something happen. I can feel the magic. And if you like the feel of it, don't go too far. We'll be back after the halftime break.
I'd love to be French for a day. Je t'aime à parler français. And every word would be full of romance. I'd love to be French for a day. I'd love to communicate with a certain je ne sais quoi.
Not only did Mouse Sports lose to Endpoint in order for the team to get here, not only did Endpoint make Inferno look close, but Endpoint also just posted 10 damn rounds on a CT side of Vertigo to lock out the 11th ranked team in the entire big round world. Scrawny and Launders here with the second half of Vertigo between these two teams as Endpoint look to keep this opening Group B series going. They've got the score count, but they've got to win a second pistol if they want it to be easy breezy beautiful. Kenny S committed to the corner with all of Endpoint on the other side. He's got Hunter back behind the sandbags, and that man's gonna get decoyed.
They seem to. Oh my god, are they like half aware of where he is? That doesn't matter. Kill and a half.
No, doesn't matter in the end. They do get Kenny. Hunter still sitting on the decoy.
Oh.
It explodes and tags him down to 98. Exhilarating utility usage. I think it's just to let him know, like, we know exactly what you're doing.
And
Look how afraid he is to peek.
Yeah, it's such a strong position on pistol rounds because there's just not, you can't refresh the molly.
But you can do
control
that.
The ramp. Can do that.
Yep, just a couple crisp boys. Peeks around the side of it, and oh my goodness, Amanek blind through smoke. Finds the headshot into Robin. That's going to leave Crucial in an important pistol clutch. He taps the bomb and dies as Jack swings wide. G2 will take second pistol.
Yeah, so like sandbag is so key, even if they know you're there, because even if it's a rifle round, people will molly you, and then your teammate will smoke it first, and then they'll molly you again, and then you smoke it again. And if you don't kill the guy on sandbag, and there's no way to spam him, then there's no way to turn the corner in the A ramp, fight any of the angles towards A. You can delay for so long. I mean, even if you have no impact on the round, apart from killing time, sometimes it's all you need to do on the ramp. So that's amplified on the pistol round, where definitely unspammable. There's no way to swarm you, and there's way too little utility to flush you out.
Oh my god, look at all these frags. Flames and Crucial picking shrapnel from their hair for weeks. Doesn't actually do all too much damage, but I mean, it could have been a blunder. Disengage for the moment, head back up to top mid, see if anybody's doing something sneaky, but Robin will find nothing for the time being.
got some MIBR stickers from Flames on his deagle. Is that what I'm looking at?
Let me keep an eye out.
Is that a Brazil reference right there?
See what you see. Amanek. Ooh, nice. Bit of damage, but doesn't quite get the second nor third frag. It's going to put Jax in a good position, though, because they are so tagged. Not yet bagged. There's Hunter from the back. Everybody's lit. Endpoint. A hell of a party here on short, and they're still coming out on top. How has nobody died yet? Finally, Nexa and Hunter yet again able to connect it. But at this point, it's also 46 HP for G2 combined. Robin, a couple of Tech 9 shots could have done it. I mean, look at his corpse, man. It's painted red, and yet he still stood towards that ramp side. G2, a labored anti-eco. Endpoint feeling invincible.
What a clown fiesta. That was it was surreal to pick up a sabotaged FAMAS. So he got, or a UMP. He had the deagle. He saw two as he pushed through the smoke. He killed one. He spammed the rest of his deagle shots on the guy top of sight. Then he picked up a FAMAS, 3 bullets in it, shot that, didn't have any bullets left over, switched back to the deagle, forgot that it wasn't already unloaded in the bag, and then died. But if you got that kill, they probably win. And that's
Somebody
just the name
give
of
this
the
man some
game
bullets.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. And listen, man, at least those 3 bullets on the FAMAS, at least it wasn't set to burst.
Right.
That's the Omega bait.
Don't start referencing emotes, okay?
What about emote?
Don't start referencing brown people, all right?
It's a great guy.
Yes.
Hunter. Here in the closest of corners. 3 Ts on the other side. That lead that Endpoint started this half with is starting to, get chipped away. Just like the HP of the Ts at the base of ramp. Here is Hunter with 1 and 2. Kenny S gets himself a double. It's crucial, all that's left over. He could try and give us the deep highlights, but he dies to Amanek. So 8 rounds now for G2, making quick work of what was that 5-round lead. However, of course, as expected, it's versus those pistols. Now that we're getting into the guns, Endpoint, it's time to deliver. Crucial on the op, utility in abundance. These are the rounds I was waiting for.
I really want to know what Flames saw. Like another highlight of Flames is just that he's so good on T sides, which it feels like there's just a dime a dozen 8 anchors that are great on CT side, or anchors, sorry. But here on the T side, I think this is where he really shines, and Vertigo's perfect for that. Well, look at him. He's actually hunting down Hunter over here. But instead gets spammed down. Flames just camping out under the grate, and then Hunter spots him, spams a little bit, but Amanek from the side through the yellow tarp is the one to finally put him in the ground.
Yeah.
That was a very awkward situation. Wanted to be patient.
Yeah, he wanted to. I was going to say, I don't even think I saw Flames shoot back.
Yeah, he didn't. He just didn't assume that Hunter saw him, but he got the tag, so. But I think that's exactly where you want Flames to be, like trying to get up the 8 ramp, playing that Elige role.
Yep. Trying to do what G2 struggled to get done
Right.
in the first half.
Exactly.
I mean, it's the eternal battle of the A bomb site. It's the nature of the beast. Amanek looking to be the monster underneath the covers here of tarp. He starts to peek around the side of it. And there we have the fight. It's all collected. It's a big clash. It's Hunter with 2. And Surreal to bring 1 back. But there are still 2 players tucked in close. And Surreal, he's going to fall to it. Mighty Max all the while, unable to find any kind of an opening, will take a shot at Jax. Now he's going to get blindsided by Kenny S. G2 within spitting distance of Endpoint. They had double the round score starting the half, and now they only trail by 1.
Pretty monster performance from Hunter so far, but that's about it. Surreal putting up big figures as well. Actually, Surreal, he was playing B for a lot of that first half, so kind of impressive for him to have this 19 kill score line so far, just these first 20 rounds. Now, it'll be a real test of the IGLing here, as Endpoint have had a couple of A rounds fall flat when that's supposed to be your bread and butter. So is there anything crafty they can come up with is the question. Not sure if Flames had utility in that spot. they've got a fair bit. A plan for the eco. Mighty Max spots one. Almanac, he doesn't get the better of Almanac, and there's cover for Almanac as well.
He's the only person to succeed here so far with the sidearms for Endpoint. And he's been bullied into the corner. Doesn't have his bomb. Oh man, and Hunter, even over top of the smoke, able to find just the smallest of angles. That's G2 to tie this game at 10 rounds apiece. And now that sentiment from the second half of Inferno starts to creep back into our minds, Mohan. This looked like Endpoint was going to keep the series going. And now it feels like after a spurt of success and convincing success on that CT side, they're hitting a bit of a wall here. Yet to find a round on the offense, but at least they're back in with guns.
Definitely. It is two different games, moving half to half here on Vertigo, you know, two different complete skill sets, but I feel like Endpoint have the players to pull stuff out. Again, a lot of this is going to come down to Crucial and Flames to make things happen, but the aggressive control for G2 down the A ramp nice and early, there's nothing worse than that if you're Endpoint.
And it goes deep. I mean, they're smoking off elevator. I mean, I feel like they've slowly gotten closer. Like, it started with sandbag slash short shelf, and then you started getting Hunter kind of crept into that closest corner, and now they're just literally taking the room. You know, give them an inch and they'll take a mile type situation.
Yeah, they've walked in your front door and smoked the living room. In your own house.
They didn't even open a window when they left.
Didn't even crack a window.
Dang. It's dirty. Amanek, he sees it coming. A little bit of utility usage here. Endpoint could hope to catch them off guard if they just follow through with this hit, but the numbers are still here for G2. Everybody's here on Endpoint. Amanek, he's starting to move back into this. Has to look away from the flash, but actually connects the kill before it. And then Hunter steps up. His 26th kill on the board. Jack's blinded, brings it back, but it's the trio of frags for Hunter. Absolute shutdown yet again. They can't find any entry past that short shelf. Launder's A site is closed.
It's not every day you see someone re-smoke your spawn on the CT side here, so, you know, really hard for Endpoint to read into what to do properly there. And another situation where even though the round doesn't work out, I actually like the call because they can't respect the fact that G2 have some people down a ramp there, but then they call it a situation where maybe they rotate hard. So they try, but then G2 do a great job holding utility, still having Molotovs in that spot. Flames in the exact same position. Does he get away with this, or does he just get punished again?
I was going to say, if Hunter backs up, I mean, there's a way to see through that. All too
he's
easily.
looking for it.
Yeah, exactly.
He seems to be
lingering,
just avoiding. Oh,
Flames will best him, but Amanek and Kenny S are doing a good job of just shutting everything else down. Kenny's swapping to the Deagle. He's going to eat frags. And Robin now. Tech 9 in hand. No bomb on his back. But he finds an AK. So he's got an AK, he's got Kevlar. He's got one of his 3 opponents tagged to 50 and a minute on the clock. This is one of those moments where, like, if he really wants to get sweaty, he could pull out a clutch. But eventually, that bomb's going to become the issue. You know, as far forward as he works is as far back as he's going to have to go. He's walking right into the angle. It's being held by Nexa, and Nexa doesn't fall. 11 kills, 1 assist, 11 deaths. Number 1 across the scoreboard as G2 lead by 2, 12 rounds to 10.
yeah. It's just so hard. It's tough. I actually don't know, like, you know, Flames is trying this kind of one play, and Hunter, he dies to Flames, but you saw that he was totally aware of Flames was and kind of got unlucky with not spotting him in that exact spot. But how is Flames going to get away with that if Hunter checks the angles again? As you talked about, there's a way to see it from both positions, and so far it's been fine. You know, Hunter got a different kill, and then Flames got traded out, but it's never been a real, like, game or round winning play. And I feel like, you know, if Flames dies, that's a lot of their hope down on the A ramp. So would like to see something different being done there to keep things fresh. It feels like a bit of a gimmick, and it seems like G2 are pretty prepared for it.
And we talked about the Battle of A being the story of Vertigo, but at this point, just as we saw in the first half, there's just no entry. Difficult Difficult to get through the stacked bomb sites. Jax, he's found an easy route behind enemy lines.
Oh boy.
Oy. Robin, he's just gotten away. Now, the problem with this flank is that Jax can't go away the audio cue, so it becomes like 6 seconds longer. Kenny S is going to be challenged in the meantime. Luckily, he's got Nexa here to try and work with him. It's Kenny and Nexa with a kill apiece. Still Amanek, or rather Jax, bringing it in from the back. He sees the bomb plant, doubles down, and that leaves Robin in a precarious position. Sure, he's able to pick up one frag on the forefront, but he has to go back, and he's only got 20 seconds to work. He could get pinched on a moment's notice. Jax seen on the side of the smoke, and Robin's trying to find him. 10 seconds left. Jax goes back, falls down ramp, and that spells disaster. Robin, he's going to have to commit to this. Hunter comes out wide. G2, flawless CT side.
Just beautiful. Like, love that from Jax. Just a great flank, and of course, he's so good at nailing the second kill as well. Looked just as easy as the first, even with that audio cue. And we're just gonna see that again here. Beautiful stuff on Crucial. Crucial, given, you know, half a second more, probably gets the trade out and then plays the final kill to perfection with his own smoke down, spots around it, doesn't overcommit, predicts, you know, the way Robin can play it, and then forces a plant. Just beautiful.
Fast one, perhaps. Just the sidearms grouped up on A. Ooh, Kenny. Oh, Kenny.
Every icon.
Every single one. We call those kills iconic.
Headshot through the smoke, through the wall.
Hunter's got his M4 back up just as the smoke goes away. There's a CT back behind this as well, but no, he actually gets shut down. Amanek denied, gives a little bit of an opening, but Kenny S, always present. He will get burned out of his position, but still gets back with at least half health. It's Robin with the M4 to pick up Jax that really puts this one in question.
Almost treating this like a death match on the A ramp, looking for some pushes from G2, not even concerned about the bomb at all. Nexa's made the rotation back. Curious to see how Nexa plays this. Late round situation, leaves A to Kenny. They were last spotted there. Nexa calling for lurks when he can, patrolling between two positions. And if they do decide to walk up the B ramp, what's it look like for Nexa? And we can see his catch-all position might actually be very, very beneficial. He's a fast rotation to A, spots mid, spots B, and Kenny can really just try to punish a plant.
All right, Kenny, let's see it. 2 kills already on the scoreboard. 2 more perhaps on the cards. They're going to walk right into this. Misses the first shot, jumps up, a second goes stray. Now the fire forcing his feet back ever so slightly. The wall bang, though, that's huge. And there's no time to plant. A highway robbery from Kenny S. Flames just has to walk away as they concede a 14th round to G2. And Mohan, that is 9 in a row. 9 rounds in a row, unanswered from Endpoint.
Yeah, it's not easy. You know, it looks like they're a different team from the first half. It's just G2 look a lot better, and it's not an easy game to win. And strategically, it's not like they're doing anything terrible. I think the only thing is they look a bit one-dimensional with the way they're approaching the A ramp. You know, I'd like to see more variety, like in the way that Flames is activated. I can see kind of some of the maybe the inexperience now, or maybe just the how much preparation they've got in Vertigo, where it feels like maybe that's worked for them in a lot of their games, for him to make like this kind of one play over and over again, but it's not working here. He's going up against Hunter, who has 30 kills this game, specifically on that position. It's too hard for them to manufacture these frags, and I feel like these opening kills on the A ramp are everything.
Go ahead and blanket the map in presence. Endpoint facing a loss here in the opening matchup. They were never the favorites. At times looked to be the victors. They'll go for the boost here. Crucial trying to find eyes onto construction. It's actually Jax in front of it. Luckily for the boost, they were guarded by Robin, but Kenny S is robbing them of that mid control. Crucial draws one back. That op, good position. knows he's being attacked back by the other two CTs that now get into mid. This starts to open up routes on either side of the bombs, but the problem is Amanek, he's got this deep ramp control. Flames knows it's all under question.
Yeah. See if the off angle is good enough. Oh, they're floating a bit, and Flames ends up winning the duel. M4A1S commercial.
Propaganda. Don't believe your eyes.
That's all you have to see. Everyone switch over.
Don't do the A1S, kids. Next, it gets burned into the open. He finds himself a quick kill versus Surreal, but blinding flashbangs are going to be a little bit too much. Hunter, however, able to get over fast enough. Yet once more, we're down to the nitty-gritty. 20 seconds, turn to 15. Bomb still not retrieved. Hunter, his flank is open, and Flames is about to sideline him from behind. It's Endpoint on the board. It took 10 rounds to get here, but by God, they've done it. Something to work with here in the closing portion of this second map. G2, they've yet to secure OT. So if Endpoint want to turn it around on its head, now's the time to do it.
Yeah, the money's still okay for G2, so there might be one more hard round beyond this. And then we're in business, really. So they've definitely dug themselves a big pit here with this 10 rounds in a row from G2. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but there we saw a few things go well. They got the opening kill, they got it down to 4v3. They played with patience, and then they iced out G2. And I thought Hunter was going to get his 32nd, 33rd kill there. 33rd, 34th, maybe? No, he's on 31 now. But they did a good job on the 2v1. Just enough distraction there from Crucial to make sure he gets shot in the back.
Smoke in the face of Jax. Throws one out on his own, and there is a slight gap in that one, but Crucial's not able to pick up the shot. So 5v5 still. Surreal and Flames getting to the top of the B ramp. Bomb in tow through mid. Nexa gets into the back quad, catching Flames, but then Surreal over top of that smoke is able to kill him. So the B side itself is open, but it falls on Jax to make big moves. He's playing behind the orange half wall. Mighty Max able to get him and the second. Hunter traded well, but it's the man advantage still here for Endpoint, and more importantly than anything, Mo, it's that bomb plant yet again.
Yeah, it does help things out so that even if they lose, they at least have some more money. And Crucial. Wait a second. This is a very, winnable round all of a sudden, 2v2. They're going to speed things up a bit, but they can totally go for it now.
Whoa, he makes the jump.
Ahead. Oh my God.
He takes it. Mighty Max has been cleared off of the bomb site. Surreal's back behind the corner. Sure, he's smoked off, but he's got the molly, puts it on it. Amanek, he's just looking to stick this. Amanek's going to just ride the waves, but Surreal burns him out in the final second. And now Kenny S, he doesn't even have time to win this. Amanek had to try and stick, and it came down to a thread.
That was beautiful by Surreal, because he threw the Molotov down, but he also paired it with the grenade. If the grenade didn't go off, he would have got the defuse as well. So that actually just staved off match point all in its own. This was crazy. The fact that Kenny S can get that frag from so far away and then open up this 2v2, bring it into the realm of possibility in the first place was special. But now, round 27, we've definitely got a game on our hands. Endpoint finding some success, excavating mid a bit more as opposed to just up the A ramp. But yeah, it's seldom that a game is won without winning on A, and it seems like they want to go back to it and try again. I really like to focus down on Flames here and see what he's learned and see if he's going to try anything new.
See you later, Hunter. Trying to make the most of the little they have to play with. If you've got a pistol, then you're on the bottom of the totem pole. M4 picks up one. Jax gets his hands on it. Good thing. He is the only other player after Kenny with some armor. Neck rocking the Zeus. Hoping somebody just sticks their head up, and it works. Flames loses
critical
to the electricity, and Surreal, in the meantime, is able to get onto the bomb site, but Amanek is then bested. That's the biggest kill of the round. Surreal getting both of those frags back from short shelf. Crucial 1 HP, and still 2 CTs to try and fend off bomb, but they can't. Surreal is able to punch in the digits, and Nexa, well, he's punched into the corner. He is stuck in this position, trying to fight his way out, and Surreal with a crisp headshot closes. That is 3 rounds in a row for Endpoint.
Very
starting
nicely
to do
done.
It's the
they
first
are.
one
And
that's the hardest.
that's true. The first one is the hardest. I thought that they had a little bit more money than they did. They had a couple of pistols on that round. So yeah, they've dug really far deep into the pockets of G2. G2 will put together another buy, surprisingly, in up and play for Kenny S.
Hang on now. Flash in mid. Hunter's getting the better of it. Surreal has found a bit of timing here to open up into the B site, though. You can see the attention of Nexa kind of drawn in 2 directions. He's going to get pinched by Surreal and his teammate by his side, unless he hangs on to this cover. But the Molotov, that should burn him out. Does it not?
Well,
Nexa's
how?
not taking damage? Now he is? What in God's name is that? Now all of a sudden, Surreal's got 1 kill, looking for the second on Kenny. Aminek's been able to find that flank frag. Yo, this
We're gonna get shot from behind, too.
He's done.
Yeah, I'm
think
shocked
next-
as well about the Molotov. I don't know how.
I think he was timing out. I think he was timing out from the server because he wasn't moving at all. It looked like he was lagging out. He wasn't reacting to anything. He wasn't taking damage while he was DCing. And then when he came back to the server, he immediately started taking damage, ran out of the molly, and nearly got a kill.
I think it just spread more, but I feel like he.
Did it?
I don't know where it landed, but yeah, I think even if he was DCing, it would have done
I would
damage.
think so too.
So yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, either way, that's a weird spread. It didn't luck wasn't in favor of Endpoint with the Molotov spreads. We know how that goes sometimes, and it's already a kill down in round 29. Mighty Max is out. Op still in the hands of Kenny S. And Kenny S actually carried forward from that 1v1 in Op. That allowed him to have an Op 3 rounds in a row, even after losing 1 with such low money. Double Op might be too much of an issue here for Endpoint to overcome. Low guns.
Ooh, missing op shots though, giving him a second chance. Endpoint could already be facing like a 3v5 at this point, but hey, they've got their bodies standing. Got utility on the lesser equipped. They've got 2 rounds to force this into OT, but Kenny S, yeah, he's looking to force the fight despite them not being ready. The utility starts to move forward. Robin blinded, able to get the headshot. That could be the saving grace. He catches a second in Hunter, standing out in the open. Now we're back into the 3v3, and the health difference about the same. Aminek looking to connect the op shot, and oh, there it is. Crucial down to just 34 HP. Both of the offers relegated to the CT side. Kenny comes in with a quick little flick, and the bomb's still not planted. I mean, this is a dire situation for Endpoint. They somehow have to move forward, but the scoped weapons just keep popping off. Left, center, right. It is ops all over, and it's good night. G2 16-13 take the series 2-0.
Oh, what a strange end to the game. Very weird couple of rounds, but a win for G2. That's all they care about at this point.